potato soup. It's a family favourite here. I'm going to be doing it in the slow cooker though. I usually do it in my pan, but today I haven't really got the time, so I'm going to be doing it in my slow cooker. So what I need is a couple of potatoes, some carrot, an onion and some leeks, and then just stock. So I'm going to peel and cut all these up and put them into my bowl. So once you've got all your vegetables cut up, first in goes the onions and the leek. Just spread them around, and with that some carrots as well. So just mix everything in as you go. It's the best way to do it. So some carrot, some leek throughout. And I've got 3 large leeks, 2 potatoes, 2 large potatoes, and 1 large carrot, which I'm putting into my slow cooker. I've cut them all up into bite-sized pieces, about so big. Smaller for the carrots because they take a little bit longer to cook than most things. The onion is chopped into small pieces. And my leeks are chopped into same size pieces as my potatoes, near enough. And just pop it all in. If you're going to do it in the slow cooker, I always believe that you should make a good batch, because it takes time to do it and it's a big item, so you want to have plenty of it. Now on top of that, what we're going to add is some stock. Put your kettle on to boil and take 2 stock cubes. And just pop them in, break them up a little bit so they don't take too long to dissolve. Okay, on top of that I'm going to add some celery salt, because I don't have any celery in here, so let your heart decide, but I would reckon about a teaspoon. Hold on a minute, that's about a little bit, tiny bit easier this way. So about a teaspoon, pop that on, along with a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of thyme. And last thing, apart from water, is a couple of bay leaves. I find bay leaves just round out the flavour. So there's 1, 2. These are out of my garden, by the way. I'm going to add, let's see, 1 pint. Two pints. So 2 pints of water there. Now I'm going to put it in my slow cooker and cook it for 3 to 4 hours on high. So my leek and potato soup has been on now for about 3.5 hours. So I'm just going to check it to see if everything's cooked. Potatoes are great. Oops, she says, throwing them everywhere. Carrots are, or should be, fine. Yep, they're great. So as everything's cooked, what I'm going to do now is remove some of the vegetables that are in the pot. Why am I going to remove them? I'm going to remove them because I'm going to puree some of the vegetables with the stock that's in here. So we need some vegetables to add back in for a bit of body. So I'm going to take a few bits of potato, carrot and leeks out, and more maybe, done double the quantity, smidge. Oh, there we go. So about half a bowl. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to liquidize or puree, whatever you want to call it, the rest. So I'll be back to you when I've done that. Okay. So I've pureed the soup and I have popped it back in. to my crock pot, and I'm just mixing it in at the moment. Now why I've done this is to thicken the soup up, because I really don't like thin soups. I'm not a big fan, and I'm going to pop these veggies back in to give it even more body. Now although it's leek and potato soup, you can actually add bacon to it, or chicken, or whatever you want really. It's up to you. It's your soup, remember. You put in what you want to put in. So I'm just checking, that looks nice and thick to me. Don't know what that is. Oh, it's the leaf. I'll get rid of that. Can't see in the other one. Oh dear, I wonder if I've blended it. Never mind, it'll only give it flavour. And to this I'm going to add some cream. So this is Elmley double cream which I'm adding, and this is just really because I like it creamy, and I think the family do as well. They haven't said otherwise. So what, about a quarter of a carton maybe at the minute. It's all about just checking to see whether it's enough for you. You know, just because a recipe says put like a full carton of this in or a full carton of that in, especially when it's a savoury recipe, you really don't need to do that. It's up to you what you do. And we're going to put some pepper in there now. That looks as if it's got enough cream in to me, I think. Maybe, yeah, more than enough. So I'm going to get the pepper. We shouldn't need salt, but I will be checking for salt as well in a moment. But we're going to put pepper in. Pepper and leeks is lovely. I don't know anybody who doesn't like that. So we're going to just mix that in. And another thing I'm going to put in is some fresh chives. I'm just going to snip them in. And then we're going to give it a taste. A few chives. And all I'm going to do is just snip them in with a pair of scissors. These are freshly cut, washed and cleaned from the supermarket, not my own. So just pop them in. There's something about a nice hit of green in a soup that makes me feel good. I don't know why. Now of course you can thin this down if you so wish. That's up to you. Thin bits of I'm not doing very well here, am I? Okay. Usually I add some butter into my soups, but in this instance I don't need to, because it's already got cream in, which is rich enough for me. If you want to, you can do. Right, I'm going to give this a taste with my trusty spoon, which I have here. Remember guys, no double dipping. It needs a little bit of salt, so I'm going to pop some salt in. Of course, you can add salt, but you can't take it away, so don't do too much of it, guys. Okay, and if you're happy with the consistency, which I am, just find another spoon to use. A fork will do, it's been nowhere. That's good. And that is my leek and cream of leek and potato soup. Enjoy!